No, I think the first couple shots they hit took a lot of wind out of our sail, and we've been getting off to tough starts, and we get off to a tough start, and we just didn't bounce back overly well, to be honest with you, JP.
Down in front, Jerry.
Kevin, how can you summarize the path this team has taken and what's happened over the past?
You know what? I'm so proud of these guys. I'm so proud of the way they've played all year, the effort they've given all year. Our tank was a little bit on empty the second half, but so proud of all those kids in that locker room. I think that's what made it tough for me, for them to go through that and kind of end the year that way. But you got to give Marquette credit. I mean, I thought Carlino and Fisher, who played terrific their last game against DePaul, played great. And it's a tough way to end the year. But I can't say a bad thing about the way those kids all year long. As amount of freshmen we played, kind of some of the stuff we had to go through. I'm very proud of them.
Down here, right.
Coach, arguably more production out of freshmen this year, just about anyone in the country. Is that part of it? A couple bombs go in?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't. We became very fragile in the second half of the year, which sometimes happens. And when guys bang shots in on you a couple times, they just their fight and their grit is still there. They're just not mentally able to kind of get over that hump, and that's kind of what we fought the whole second half, was that we just couldn't get over the hump when something went bad.
Right here.
Coach, especially early on, it seemed like the perimeter defense was struggling a little bit. What happened that they were getting so many open looks?
They do a good job of running Carlino off screens, and he played a hell of a game. I just got to give him a lot of credit. He came off screens. He hit some tough shots. And I thought, again, we had Isaiah on him a little bit. We had Dino on him a little bit. Sterl was on him a little bit. But, it's young kids trying to guard a fifth-year senior, and sometimes a fifth-year senior is going to win.
Over here on the left.
Coach, is Brandon all right?
Yeah, Brandon's okay. I didn't want to, once the score got up, he had hyperextended his knee. He did the same thing in the Providence game, at Providence. And, he's, at that point, you're not going to put him in danger.
Brendan.
Kevin, was the success that this team had early on, is that too much or too soon for like that?
Thanks for joining me. Leaving me up here all alone. Thanks a lot.
Joined by Sterling Gibbs.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit to do with it. But I don't think, again, I really look at this season as, we were all playing at a very good level. We lost a very important key to the team at the start of the Big East season. I thought the team did a great job of fighting through losing somebody. And then when that piece came back, it was very hard to readjust roles. Plus, again, it's not an excuse, but I knew the second half of the season, the second 9 games, was going to be brutal just because of the schedule. I think we had 6 out of 8 on the road. And again, I just, these guys, it's tough for them to end this year this way because they deserve a little bit better. They've earned a little bit better. They've worked hard. Their attitude's been great. We just got really fragile towards the second half, end of the year.
Adam.
I know it's asking a lot to look ahead to next year, but looking ahead to next year, all these guys will all be a year older. The freshmen will be sophomores. Do you expect this team to make a significant jump and contend for the postseason next year?
Yeah, I think get refreshed, get a little bit stronger, kind of get a better understanding. I even look at Sterling. I looked at the jump Sterling took this year. He went from being a very good player I guess it was his sophomore year to this year. I think he's one of the best guards in the country. You can't look at his numbers the last 3 games. He's coming off a concussion. I just don't think he's, he came off that concussion. He just didn't have the same zip in his step. But, I look at the jump he took this year. He went from being, like I said, a good player to I think one of the best guards in the country. So I think guys will take big steps. They always do. It's frustrating, but I know what kind of jumps they can take. So I saw his hard work and what he did.
Jerry, in front.
Building on Adam's question, for Julie, you mentioned how
I think, again, I think you have, this is, when you have as many young guys who have never really had to go through what they went through, playing great competition every night, going against older, stronger kids every night, I just think experience counts. I think that's one reason why the league is so good right now. I think the league is so good because it's very senior and junior laden heavy. I think we have great young talent in the league, but you know, you look at the guys who are playing really well right now. They're all older guys, and I think that's the reason why the league is so deep and so good.
JP?
For Sterling, just, is there any way, Sterling, to just sum up how, you know, where you guys were when you made that shot against Creighton, that was 60 days ago, and where you are now? I mean, is it shocking to you that it's gone this week?
Obviously we were on a high at that point, but we just took some bad turns. We had a couple tough breaks. I think, like Coach said, we're a little young, so guys getting a little fatigued, fighting through injuries, fighting through different things. So it's tough, but I think we stuck together and battled it out.
All the way down the right.
Coach, 0 minutes for Manga tonight. Anything behind that?
No.
Right here. Andrew.
Sterling, you know, you've been through a few of these seasons, and if you every year you don't win a championship, it's always a disappointment. But you know, this year you guys have had such highs and lows. As you kind of were with everyone in the locker room after the game, is there anything you said or can say to the young guys to kind of help them transition and build off of this for next year?
Well, right after the game, everyone's kind of down, so it's nothing to really be said at that point. But when we all meet up as a team, I'll definitely tell them we got to work hard in the off season. Got to make gains. Got to make sure that we're stronger. Make sure that we're all together. I think the fact that they have this season underneath their belts, I think it'll help us a lot going forward.
Wait, two more. Right here.
Coach, how frustrating has it been for you over the past 5 years in conference play?
I think the thing I'm frustrated most of is, I think the only year I went into Big East play without anybody hurt was my second year. Last year, Eugene had a concussion December 27th, and he was out pretty much 8 games. I actually don't think Eugene ever really got back. This year, Isaiah, Jeremy broke his wrist the first year. Patrick broke his foot the second year. Patrick broke his foot again last year. I think that's my frustration level, is that I think we've always gotten to a pretty good point, and then once you're going into the toughest part of your season, we just haven't been able. You know, now all of a sudden we're adjusting, and then we're constantly adjusting, and that's been. I think that's the only frustrating part. The rest of the part is, you know, like I said, I just been extremely proud of their effort, battling through. It's not easy when you're a young guy, in 22, 23, 21, trying your hardest and things aren't going your way. So they gave me everything they had this year. I mean, I can't ask for anything else. But the frustrating part is that we've never gone into a Big East season fully healthy.
Last question.
Coach, why did Whitehead only shoot 1 shot the first time? Were you hesitant to get going, or?
I'm not gonna, you know, again, I'm not, you know, we have to get an X-ray on his hand. He's battling a bad thumb injury that he got 2 weeks ago, and Isaiah's a little going in. He's not as confident as he was at the beginning of the year. He just hasn't had enough time to practice. He hasn't had enough time to play. He hasn't, you know, he's coming off a stress fracture. So again, he's part of the fragility. Is that a word?
I'm not sure.
He's part of the fragile group that is, and again, you know, he was guarding Carlino on that first 3, and he kind of, you know, that really he worked hard on it, and the kid made a tough shot, and I think it kind of hit his confidence a little bit. So, again, these guys need a good break. We'll get one, and then we'll get back together and we'll get working.
Seton, thank you. Thanks.